Alright, budget magic time. Playing some key control in standard. No key, but we'll try this. Sounds a bit slow and clunky. Foreboding Ruins. Well, let's start playing some tap lands. At least our opponent did not have a 1-drop. Submerge Boneyard. Go. Womp for our opponent. And Scrap Heap Scrounger. Passes a turn. Alright, well, we'll play our own tap land. Actually, let's just run out Stromkirk Condemned. I think that's fine. Pass the turn. Inventor's Apprentice. And our opponent passes. Now, let's play a Swamp. Pass the turn. This gives us a ton of options, including Madnessing a Voldaren Pariah. Also, one more basic land in these Sunken Hollows would be untapped, which would be sweet. Opponent goes to combat. Tags with both. Well, let's block the Nerd Ape, and we'll just Madness Voldaren Pariah. Cast Voldaren Pariah. Seems like a pretty good turn. And that pumps up Stromkirk Condemned. Gets rid of Nerd Ape. And our opponent has another Scrap Heap Scrounger. Ooh, there's an island. That's a good draw. Well, let's attack with both. And then we're going to discard Welcome to the Fold. Madness Welcome to the Fold. Steal a Scrap Heap Scrounger. And this might just be the game. Yup. So, Scrap Heap Scrounger coming to our side of the battlefield. Pumps up our vampires. Get in for 7. Usually our best draws involve key, but this hand has worked out swimmingly. I mean, it doesn't hurt that our opponent hasn't gotten to their 3rd land yet, but still, this is going pretty well. Scrap Heap Scrounger isn't the greatest thing to steal, but it keeps our opponent from beating down, and it beats down back at our opponent, so, well, that was good. Against this deck, I think we want Biting Rain, and I think we want... is it worth bringing in Ceremonious Rejection? That's the question. Murderous Compulsion is actually pretty interesting. Spell Shrivel is probably going to be a bit slow. So I guess we could bring in Murderous Compulsions. It is another way to kill Smuggler's Copter, especially if you have a discard outlet. Yeah, let's try it like this. Yeah, this is reasonable. Lots of tap lands, but reasonable. There's a mountain for our opponent. And the Bombat Courier gets in for 1. And passes. We get a Haunted Dead, which could be good in the long run. I think we just play Sunken Hollow. Choked Estuary has much greater odds of coming into play untapped, because we have a lot of lands we can draw that do it. Opponent gets in with the Bombat Courier. Down to 18. Gets another card under it. If we draw nothing, we might just kill the Bombat Courier. We'll see. Scrap Heap Scrounger. Welcome to the fold. Yeah, I think we're just gonna kill it. Murderous Compulsion, get rid of Bombat Courier. We don't want our opponent to be able to draw a bunch of cards. And we're not that far away from stabilizing. What we'd really like would be an untapped land to play Stromkirk Condemned and discard Haunted Dead. Also, a key would get the job done. So we have a decent amount of draws that do that. Because Sunken Hollow lets Choked Estuary come into play untapped. So I don't know if we're 50-50, but we have a lot of draws that would allow us to make that play next turn. Opponent has another Scrounger. We are going to want to start blocking at some point. Alright, well, we'll take Key to the City, play Key to the City, play Choked Estuary tapped. Unfortunately, we're dropping down to 9, but we are going to get to discard a Haunted Dead. It might just be a turn too slow. I guess we'll see. So here comes the Scroungers, hitting us down to 9. Oh, there's a follow-up. Inventor's Apprentice. Well, let's discard Haunted Dead. Question's going to be, can we afford to draw a card here? We'd like to just draw a land, and then we could like Stromkirk Condemn plus Haunted Dead. But if we don't draw a land, what could we draw? Biting Rain would be absurd. Oh, I don't know if it's worth it. The other problem is if we don't draw an untap land, we can't get back Haunted Dead, and then we're just dead. But we're probably dead anyway. Alright, let's not draw. Voldaren Pariah. Alright, so all we can really do here is pass the turn. And we might be dead to burn or unlicensed disintegration. Opponent has a land. Bad time to miss land drops. Attacks with everything. So get back Haunted Dead. Discarding Prized Amalgam and Welcome to the Fold. No madness. Yeah, if our opponent has unlicensed disintegration, we are just dead on the spot. So we get back our stuff. Triggers Prized Amalgam. Get a Spirit. Looks like our opponent might have disintegration. Ooh, alright, they don't. So we get to chump a Scrounger. Drop to 4. Opponent has Kalitas. Alright, not much we can do about it. We get back a Prized Amalgam. Untap. Grasp of Darkness. Alright, so I guess we just passed the turn. Being stuck on lands is pretty problematic, though. We are dead to a ton of things. Theoretically, we can kill Kalitas. Lightning Axe, discarding a Key to the City. And even if we kill Kalitas, we are dead. Alright. Well, little light on lands there. Yeah, let's just run it back. We just need to draw lands. Alright, we get to play first, which is hopefully good. We get to mulligan. Alright, as far as bad hands go, this is less bad than some. I guess this isn't horrible. I wish Stromkirk Condemned was a key. Opponent is also mulliganing, though, from underneath the floorboards. I don't think we want that yet. So we'll put it to the bottom. So let's just Sunken Hollow, go. I mean, we get Stromkirk Condemned, we get to discard Haunted Dead, and we got a removal spell. So this seems somewhat alright. Foreboding Ruins for our opponent. And passes. Well, Choked Estuary, reveal an island, play Stromkirk Condemned. Pass the turn. There's a mountain for our opponent. And Key to the City. Well, our opponent's got the key. Let's see what we draw. Another Stromkirk Condemned. Well, let's get in with Stromkirk Condemned. Put our opponent down to 18. Play the Boneyard. Pass the turn. We don't have anything good to discard yet. Opponent has Foreboding Ruins, untapped. Well, they have another land in their hand. There's Disintegration. Alright, I think we just let that go. And just cast Haunted Dead next turn, since we have the mana. I think that's better than discarding 2 cards here. So, play the island. Play Haunted Dead. Well, with us drawing so many lands, I kind of wish we had just kept that from under the floorboards. Best turn. But we have enough mana that we can play any of our big stuff if we draw it. Tap land for our opponent. We know they still have a mountain too because they revealed it. Think Key to the City might be our best draw though. Opponent passes. Welcome to the Fold isn't horrible. So let's attack with both. Play Swamp. Play Stromkirk Condemned. Pass the turn. What does our opponent have? There's Kalitas. Well, this is a big turn. If we draw an untap land, we can just welcome to the fold Kalitas, which would be absurd. No such luck. So instead, we will just Grasp of Darkness. Tag with everything. Stealing Kalitas would have been super sweet there, but we can hopefully do that in the future if there's another Kalitas. Chandra, the Torch of Defiance. Okay. I don't know how much value our opponent can get out of that. Takes it up. Hits us for 2. And Galvanic Bombardment. Do we empty our hand to get back Haunted Dead? That lets us kill Chandra. We'll have, what, 6 power? We hit Chandra for 5. 1 at our opponent. It doesn't make it a 2-turn clock, but we really don't want Chandra to live. I like these cards, though, if the game continues on and we don't draw anything. This is a really tough question. Well, let's go to end of turn. Yeah, let's go for it. I mean, we get punished if our opponent draws like a Kalitas or something, but I think this is our best bet. We get rid of 2 cards we didn't really want to discard, but we get Chandra off the battlefield, so our opponent's not drawing extra cards, and we keep the pressure on. Alright, we draw Grasp, which is fine. So let's attack Chandra, attack Chandra, attack Chandra, and hit our opponent for 1. Maybe it's better to ignore Chandra, but we're essentially... The clock is sort of the same, but our opponent gets to keep Chandra on the battlefield because they would get to draw an extra card anyway, so it's sort of like 2 turns. Yeah, let's Ruinous Path, PNLR. Attack with everything. Opponent trades with a Spirit. Down to 4, pass the turn. Well, we might be winning a keyless game. And that does it. Sweet. Well, key control, getting there even without key.